Hey Gemini, the twins, here is your weekly horoscope for February 14 to February 20th. Well, my favorite weekly forecasts these days are for the air signs like you, Libra and Aquarius, because with so many planets in Aquarius, these tend to make very positive connections with the sign of Gemini and Libra, certainly if there's planets in those signs. So even if you only have your sun in Gemini and nothing else, you're still probably being hit by some very positive aspects right now from Aquarius. So let's talk about some of these. Well, first of all, we have Mercury has been retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. And even though that may have been making positive aspects to your chart, Mercury retrograde still has a way of bringing our attention to things that need to be fixed or focused on, and that may have happened for you. Great news is, by the end of the week, Mercury will be going direct again, and that means there will be no planets retrograde, and we can all begin to move forward, as we all like to do. Venus is in Aquarius. It is still conjunct Jupiter this first day of the week on Valentine's Day, which is so appropriate, because Jupiter and Venus, when they get together, is all about spreading love and good cheer. Generally, Gemini, you're usually a very positive person, and you like to make people laugh and make them happy. So that's a good thing. But unfortunately, Venus is squaring Mars in Taurus from Monday on. And as well, there's a few other squares hitting these Aquarius planets. So it does defray the positivity somewhat for you, but not entirely. Mars square Venus would tend to make all of us kind of restless while that's going on. You're a restless sign already as it is, so this week might be especially busy for you. If you can take out some time for writing or any other type of creativity that you might partake of, I really would recommend it. Venus Mars working together can help people produce some wonderful, wonderful works of art. So if you have any creative projects to do this week, it's a good time for that. Unfortunately, Saturn squaring Uranus until April 10th, i.e. the rest of the month, and well, till April 10th, and a few times off and on this year. Well, that square is intended to get every one of us to take a look at our structures of life. What have we built for ourselves in the last 7 years, say? And where do we go next from here? This pandemic that has occurred worldwide has really brought up everybody short and made us have to look not only directly in front of us, but further ahead. This is not the time really to be looking at the past. Gemini doesn't usually anyhow. Your sign usually is more forward thinking, and you like to move forward, not backwards. But with Lilith being squared by Jupiter and the Mercury retrograde, since Mercury is your ruling planet, I'm a little concerned this week that Gemini may be a little too negative. You do tend to get into anxiety and worry about things that you can't control. Other signs just think that's a waste of energy, but it's nature to who you are. And I guess all that worry and anxiety is motivating for you. But I think sometimes it motivates you as well to not do better. And I think that this Mercury squaring Lilith all week and Jupiter squaring it as well is going to tend to perhaps open the doors to some of your more negative traits escaping, some more negative feelings or criticisms. One of the worst things that Gemini does is stick their nose where it doesn't belong. You tend to be a little bit more curious than a cat, and as we know from that old cliche, it can get you in trouble sometimes. So certainly respect people's privacy and respect people's need to be who they are. Sometimes, Gemini, you're a little bit critical and pushy of people like the other mutable signs. So I recommend don't be like that this week because you're not going to make any friends. Now, if you're attacked by other people and they're dumping their negative crap on you, by all means, stand up for yourself if you need. But do remember, if you respond negatively, you're just putting more negative karma out there for yourself. So it would be best to try to walk away from disputes, but do defend yourself as needed. I am concerned that there could be someone in your workspace, for example, that might be deciding that they want to create some trouble for you. Aside from that, with Neptune in Pisces and sextiling Mars, at least till Wednesday, and a few other softer aspects like Chiron sextiling Saturn all month, boy, we need that one, because we're all pandemic weary at this point. And I think signs like yourself, Aries, and a few others that really don't like to be tied down or restricted, you have suffered more than perhaps the rest of us, at least from that emotional point of view. So by now you're really, really fighting against any restrictions and bounds that are placed upon you. And that's okay, but you do need to untie these binds carefully. If you just try to struggle too much against them or just break ties quickly with people, that may not be the best solution for you, Gemini. So think further this week on how you can creatively improve your relationships. And by all means, throw yourself into some art and creativity this week and don't be surprised at what you might turn out. It could be a very beautiful piece of art. Have a great week ahead, Gemini.